Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to start this video by saying thank you to everyone who subscribed recently and have been a long-time subscriber. We have reached 10,000 subscribers recently and I am so happy right now, as that is one of the goals that I had for 2024, but midway I kind of gave up, especially when December started and I had a new role and it was crazy busy lately. But YouTube informed me that we have reached this milestone and I am back here now. I carved out time to do this because I am just so grateful and I wanted to share my planners with you as well. But first, we are going to do something special, which is to make our 2024, January 2024 Opanchu Usagi doll. This was a freebie in the Hobonichi 2024 order if you ordered one of the Opanchu Usagi items. Okay, it looks like we have one little, what do you call this? Pink thing. And you get a sheet of stickers. These are clear stickers. Don't be fooled by the yellow backing. It's just the yellow backing. So we're going to make the doll. I did this in my haul, I think. And what you do is you crumple one tissue, put it in the center, and then just bring all of the edges together to make this. You can make it as big as you want, but I think the idea, okay, I need to make this tighter. The idea is that the skirts of the tissue would be falling gracefully around the circle or the sphere that we are making. And I'm hoping that the audio is decent, because it is still a holiday and there's a lot of construction going on. And then you take the pink thing, the wire, and you just secure it with the wire at the back, and then just fluff it as best you can. Fluff the skirt. We're going to have to make do with that. And then we are going to pick a face. This is the face we're going to use. I'm not sure if this was the one that I used the last time, but this is the one we are going to have today. And just stick it on there. And there you have it. So our Opanchu Usagi doll is very excited for 2024. Ta-da! So she's going to sit there and be our friend for today. Our co-host. So this is going to be a long video for sure, and a couple of caveats. First, make sure to get yourself a drink so you stay hydrated, and you can also use this video as a accompaniment for your plan with me or planning sessions. And then the next thing is there might be a white wire like this one that would be hanging off at the edge of the screen or appearing at the end of the screen. That is the wire of my headset. So let's go ahead and go through the planners. You sit there, oh no, that I will be using for 2024. So let's go ahead and get started. I will be showing you quite a few things. The first thing we need to talk about are the categories. So I have a few categories. The first one is log. The second is play, and the third one is a journal. So when I talk about log, I'm using these two planners, including the one with Opanchu Usagi. So Opanchu actually is the word for pants. So it's like Usagi is rabbit, so rabbit pants or a rabbit wearing pants, if in case you're curious. So I have these Opanchu Usagi A6 cover from Hobonichi. It already has goodies inside. And I also have this Filofax, very old, beaten up Filofax, original in beige. I forget which one, but this is the brown one. And as you can see, it's got a lot of scuff mark, indentations. I love it. It doesn't look pristine because it's been lived in by me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with log, and I will explain play and journal later. So they all have their own thing. For log, the purpose of this is to have a space where I can write down things very quickly. And it can also serve as, or mainly serve as, a documentation of every day that I can do with a minimum amount of time. For the Filofax, this has all my yearly views, my yearly, quarterly, and monthly goals. It's quite thick. I won't be going through the contents of this because I want to do it in another video that's specific to Filofax only, as this is an overview. But that's another thing. This is an overview, so not everything will be discussed, not everything will be opened and shown to you. So here I have the 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔. This one I am going to open, as that is a cover only, and this is the Kinbor A6 dailies. It looks a lot like a Hobonichi A6, a Hobonichi Techo original, but this is in fact a Kinbor. And I also set it up. I put tabs on the side, and this has daily view, and this is going to be my daily log should I need it. And there is no pressure to use this every day, but I believe there are days where I want to log a lot. Especially if I'm writing or researching, I like to log a lot because the logging part is sort of like my rest or break time, but at the same time it's still being productive, as I am logging what I have done, so I don't have to remember all of it. Now, I would be bringing this sometimes, but not all the time, because the Filofax will be also on my on-the-go planner. So not only does it have my yearly, quarterly, and monthly logs, it also has my weeklies. The weeklies that I'm using in here is really for my on-the-go. I chose to do this because while I love being in a Hobonichi weeks, that is my ultimate favorite planner. That is where I find my planner piece most of the time. And I'll have another video about planner piece, but if you have seen my last video, the Essentialism video, I talk about how there's executive functions, and part of that is planning, and the planning part is here. So the planning part also has the logging part that I mentioned in that video, and that is in here, and I like to plan that on a weekly basis. Although on a daily basis, I like to have something where, or a space where I can write down my to-do list. I could also do it in here, but I want to use this instead, so I have something separate and it's not just this one. So if I want to focus, I could just do it in this planner. So that's the thing why I also have multiple planners. If I want to focus on one thing, I only just want to see that one thing. Albeit you can achieve that using a ring planner, so just like this one, maybe an A5 or even a smaller one, a pocket one, you can also do that. But I don't just want to stay in a rings. I write better with bound books because this is the one where it's easier to write on because the rings kind of get in the way of this. For me, if I'm using a ring planner, it needs to be quick because I don't like the rings getting in the way of writing down things. So that's why I prefer a bound book if I'm going to be writing on it for a long time. I hope that makes sense. So those are my two planning or logging books, but these are just logging. And I also mentioned in the last video of Essentialism, which is my planning system, that you are planning because you want to carve out time for play. So play is very important, and those do not happen in these two planners because there is no space. That's number one, there is no space and it's just too cluttered. You want to have a specific area where you know that it's playtime. So let's go ahead and move on to the next segment and let me show you my play planners. So these are my play planners. I'm gonna explain this because it needs explaining, as this is completely different from what I have done in the last few years that I've been on YouTube showing you my plan with me's in my Hobonichi weeks. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the black one. So the black one is not a Hobonichi weeks, obviously. This is from Crefective Paper, and I used to PR for Crefective Paper. In fact, a lot of my inserts in my Filofax is from Crefective Paper after I am no longer a PR girl of hers because I love her stuff so much. And she came up with this, and I was very curious because this is a near dupe, near same size, very similar layout. It's also on a weekly, bit of monthlies, and a bit of yearly. There is a quarterly on here, which I appreciate, and there's loads of pages at the back. I'm not gonna flip through this. Once again, I know you're very curious what's inside here because this is my favorite setup. I love this the most, but I will do that in its own video as it deserves its own spotlight video. And you will be seeing that when I do my plan with me on this. This one is my play home planner, home and personal planner. Especially if I'm going to start doing a lot of finance tracking, a lot of adulting is going to go in here as well. Now mind that I separate my work and my personal. So this is my work. My Hobonichi Weeks has always been my work planner since before I even started PhD, but was especially helpful when I was doing my PhD. Stick with this as it works, and it should not be changing for now. I don't feel like it should be changing. I did consider going into a Hobonichi cousin, but in the end, it's not for me. Too much book to go around. I like my tiny little planners. So, having said that, I would say that play part of Essentialism as a planning system would work very well in a Hobonichi cousin, but it will also work well with multiple Hobonichi weeks. So what is play? Play is when you take a look at your life, your plans, your goals, your projects, and map it out considering how much time you have in a day that you want to spend time on it. That's how I define play. Play is also very exploratory. Do you really want to do this? Do you want to add to your goals? How will you flesh out your goals? And things like that. You can consider it as journaling as well, but for me, journaling is a completely different thing. I would do play, exploratory play, before something is happening, as that is when I really plan out what I'm going to do. Let me talk to you about that a little bit more. Let me explain. So for example, I want to track healthy eating. Then what would that require? That would require meal planning, grocery shopping, and things like that. And you have goals for that. So that the entire planning for that could go in here first before I log it in my Filofax rings. So once I've figured out all the little things that I want to do as I break down that goal or break down that project, and only then would I be able to transfer it onto my Filofax. But the whole planning part is in here. And once again, this is for home and personal things, and this one is for my work things. So let me go through this. This is a spring edition Hobonichi Weeks. Now, why did I not move into my 2024 ones when I have so many of them? Where are the others? I have two more. Originally, one of them was going to be for YouTube, one of them was going to be for something else, for health, and one of them was going to be a designing planner, this one. And I decided, yeah, no, it's not clicking. I did that for last year. It didn't quite bring as much joy as I would have expected or hoped. So I scrapped that idea, and I was thinking, okay, there must be something else that we can do for my Essentialism planning system to work, because the separation wasn't working in terms of exploration for play. So I always have that in mind. This is for play. So what would that mean? So what I decided to do was to separate my Hobonichi Weeks into quarters. So I will be using this. I'm already using this from December until March when this ends, and then one of these will start. I think this is going to be the next one because that is my birthday month. So this is quarter 2, this is quarter 3, and then I'm getting another Hobonichi Weeks spring edition in February, I think, or is that March of next year, to use as quarter 4, just like this one. So that's why, I can't purchase it yet. It's not out yet. So that's why I only have 3, but really I will have 4. So why do you need to have, or what are the good things about using Hobonichi Weeks quarterly? First, you get to use all of the notes pages, and you wouldn't have to be worried about using it up because you're using it quarterly. So you can use the regular ones and you will get 75 pages. And then also, okay, I'll show you the monthly. So the monthlies are the only things that you can use once. So it's going to have quite a lot of things, but I don't mind that because this is work, and should I need space, I also have my Filofax rings, and then I also have my 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔, which also, the Kinbor 𝒕𝒉𝒔 also has monthlies. There's monthlies everywhere. Every planner has monthlies. The weeklies, which I just did a plan with me on, which is going to be on my YouTube Shorts, IG Reels, and TikTok. So this is what I did. And this is more of tracking everything. It has home, a little bit of work, a little bit of everything page. And then I also have a more drawn out task list. And because I have the whole year, well, 9 months of it, I can repurpose these weeklies into whatever I would like. So this is the one I'm currently on. And I just used the bookmarks that come with the planner to, well, the black one, to mark which weeklies I am using. And this one is not really May. This is December 25th through 31st. And I have a little bit of journaling on here. And then I can have another weeklies right next to it. That's just task list. Another weeklies right next to it. That's just schedule. That's just YouTube for content planning and all the things. So basically, instead of dividing my Hobonichi weeks into different or specific areas, I'm dividing it by quarters and repurposing the weeklies of each Hobonichi weeks into whatever category I would like. I have yet to perfect this quarters, but see, this quarters haven't really started. Well, it will start next week, but I do have time. Well, I have this week to sort it all out. I've tried quite a few things already, so I cannot wait to fully move into this. That's why we're not ready for planner setup yet. Maybe we're ready next week when I've sat down and really figured out which categories I would like to plan in my empty or extra weeks. So this is quarter 1, and by the way, this is the, what do you call that? Oh no, I don't have the thing. Oh, here we go. This is this one. It's called the Makino. This is the Makino one. This is the Kubota one, and this is the gingham with last year's cover, which I think works super well because look at that cat, it's completely avoided the year. That's excellent. So those are the play planners that I have, and now we are ready to move on to the next segment, which is my journal. I feel like I have the united colors of journals because I have one from China, one from Japan, and one from Korea. So I guess it's the East Asian journals, and I love them. Okay, so first we have my 2024 journal, and I hadn't intended this to be a journal, and it's the best thing ever. It's so pretty. It looks so good in photos. If you have this gingham pattern, what is this called? Relaxing plaid, I think. And this is so pretty. I am so glad I got this, and I cannot wait to get the gingham for next year. Okay, last year's gingham wasn't really my style, and this year's gingham is definitely my style, and I hope they come up with one that is green, a green gingham. Oh my god, that'd be so cute. So I do have a little bit of stuff in here already. Let me take out that. Do you see that? So I put lace on the edge so that when I flip, I have my lace. I'm thinking of putting another lace here, but I don't know, that might be overkill. And not only will the lace be pretty, especially if it's not in this jacket anymore. Well, the jacket being the COC. So I put a COC on here because I don't want her to be dirty. And I plan to take her out as my cafe journal as well, and I cannot wait to do that. I haven't been out lately because I've been so busy with all the Christmas things, but not only will it be pretty, it also protects my pages from dust, from bending, and all of that. I have to say, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I feel like the Hobonichi covers, or Hobonichi Weeks covers, have become a tiny bit thinner than what I remember. Or maybe it's just me, because I haven't had hard covers in a while. I've been in soft covers for a really long time. Well, last year. I feel like they've become thinner. Not saying that they're no good. It's just that they've become thinner, which is great too, because they're lighter. So if you put them in your bag, then they will not be too heavy. And I also got this. This is supposed to be for the Makino one, but it's been in my journal. I don't know why. So I have two others. This one is from Korea, and this is the one from Artbox. I think this is an Artbox exclusive, and it has all these pretty illustrations, and I cannot wait to journal in here. This is going to be filled with stickers. All the stickers. I have so many stickers, they need to be used, and this is the book for that. And it's gonna look so good. Look at how pretty that is in October. Oh, so good. So this one is my bear one. I have a little bear diary. So I have multiple journals because journaling can be done in multiple notebooks. There is no rule for journaling. There is one thing though. I journal when I'm happy, I journal when I'm sad, but I do not journal every day. Only when I want to. Only when inspiration strikes. And that tends to create really beautiful pages, at least in my opinion. They are beautiful pages. I would like to journal every day. Like, this one was done in one day and was back planned. Well, I think journaling, in my case, I would journal after an event had happened or after the week had passed. Maybe you're journaling in a different way. Sometimes I don't feel like journaling, but then my pages would be empty, so I would just write on the left page. But if I do have stuff to write about, I would write on here. So this is this week, and I have yet to write anything on here because the week have yet to pass. So at the end of the week, this is a really good idea, at least for me, to have a little bit of review. So weekly review, things I love, things that didn't work out, things I'm looking forward to, and I think that's really great for mental health. And so that is what this is for, my weekly journal. So weekly review journal, and this one is my cutesy journal, the journal that I want to be creative at. And this one is the last journal, and this one is my Kinbor. I guess we can do a little bit of a flip because there's not much in here, as this is a journal. I do have my sleep tracker here, and this is undated vertical. So this is my vertical one, and look, she's ready for next week. And this is gonna be like my how did you spend your hour journal, and at most this is what I'm going to use if I want to track my daily, hourly activities. I generally would be able to remember up until the third day of it happening. So for example, this is New Year's Day and I'm logging on Wednesday. So Monday, Wednesday, yeah. And then the weekends are split, which is not the best thing ever. I should have gotten the B6 dated version. I didn't know it was a B6. I thought it was another A5 Kinbor. It was my biggest regret of life. And I don't want to order again just for that book, because this took 3 weeks to get to me, and it was already the holidays when I found out that there was a B6 hourly that did not have the weekend stacked. So biggest regret. But I'm still very excited to use this. I picked the yellow one. Also, I wanted to get the yellow one of the other one as well because it matches my brown bear theme. And so I got this journal, and this is the last one that I got. And that is my journal. So those are all of the planners that I'm using for 2024. So let's go ahead and outro. If you're still here and stayed this long, thank you so much. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want some more planning videos, please subscribe to my channel. I will be uploading weekly at best. At least I think I will be uploading weekly. I should not be promising anything anymore because right now I don't know what my schedule will be. I think it's going to be crazy. At least in my play planner session or strategizing session, it looks to be really, really busy. So last thing that I wanted to say is I wanted to give a reaction to all of the feelings that have come out regarding planner consumerism. I do agree that it has become quite overwhelming, and at some point of all this process of my rehashing my planner system, that I did feel overwhelmed. However, the feeling that I was getting, it did not come from having too many planners. So that is the perspective where I am coming from. I am okay with having so many planners because I love having so many notebooks. I don't do a lot of other hobbies aside from my gym membership and my Xbox Game Pass. There are no other hobbies. I don't buy a lot of clothes. I don't buy shoes. I don't have a collection of designer bags, designer shoes. Nothing like that. I've had my phone for 4 years now, going into 5. It's an iPhone 10. So even electronics, I do not invest in those. What I like to have are notebooks and pens and stationery. That is where I get joy. Maximum amount of joy for the least amount of money. So every time I'm sad or every time I'm stressed out, every time inspiration strikes, I would buy notebooks. So I have a lot of notebooks and stationery. And once again, that is not where my planner frustration was coming from. It wasn't from planner consumerism. However, I do understand that it can be overwhelming if you're looking at so many planners, all of them dated, all of them needed to be used in 2024, and I completely understand that. Planners can be very expensive. So if you're watching my video and you're thinking that, oh my gosh, she has so many planners and similar sentiments, that is very true. It is not normal. I am very different. I'm an outlier. That is because I have a planner system in place. So I will link that video everywhere in the description, as a card, everywhere. You have to see that in order to understand why I have all of these planners, as I did not go through it in this video. So I do have that planner system in place, and that is what helped with the frustration of 2024. Another thing is that I'm in a transition in my life where things are not normal, not really normal, but things are different. Things are very different now. I'm no longer a student. I have investments. I need to do some major adulting, take care of the house, take care of finances, take care of 2 cats, take care of my husband, my home, myself. Those things need a place in my planners because that's how I think. I don't also have any electronic digital planning systems. I don't have Google Calendar, I don't have Microsoft Calendar, I don't have Trello, I don't have Notion, I don't have any of those because I don't need them. I don't have a work thing where people are basically going to be looking for me in that sense in an everyday basis. So I do have Microsoft Calendar thing where I will see all of the meetings that I'm supposed to go into, but that is to set the meeting, not to like plan it, you know. I hope I'm getting that message across. I don't have digital planning, really. I do not consider those as my planner. These are my planners. Well, mostly these are my planners. This is Playbook. Actually, that's a really good name for these. These are the playbooks. You know, play, how you're strategizing, you know, sports thing. Yeah, playbook and journals and planners. So that's really how I live my life. So it's not necessarily something that you should be doing as well. It might not be for you. Please don't mind me having so many planners when you only want one. as that is what would work for you. This does not mean that this would work for you as well. I'm just showing you ideas of how I'm using my planners as someone who is obsessed with planning. And I'm actually not unique. There are communities out there with multiple planners. A lot of them are Japanese as well. Well, I'm sure there are lots everywhere, but I really enjoy the ones that are on Japanese YouTube. Well, it's YouTube, but they're Japanese channels. Those are excellent. And I get so much inspiration from them because they're also obsessed with planning and they have many planners and they love it. So I guess what I'm saying is that I'm sorry if I'm not able to give you advice on planner consumerism like other YouTube channels would have, like with similar topics, similar subjects, similar niche, because I don't have the same perspective as they do. I'm really sorry that that's not something that I could comment more on than right now. I understand where you're coming from. I understand that it can be very frustrating. It is quite frustrating actually, admittedly, to have so many planners that's dated and you want to use it but you don't know how, and that feeling overwhelmed about having so many stationery, so many notebooks, so many planners as well. It's okay to feel that way. But unfortunately, I cannot advise on how you can minimize that, how you can streamline that, except for what I already do and what I have experienced. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing. And lastly, there is one YouTube video that I saw. I'm sorry, I don't remember where I got this anymore, what YouTube video it is, what channel, that advised against putting too much fluff in your planner, as that leads to planner fatigue. And I think that would be applicable to a lot. And if you noticed in my playbook, I do have stickers, but only because it's the holidays. Most of the time I will not have stickers on them. I don't have stickers on my Filofax as that is planning. So basically here, no stickers, some stickers, maybe all the stickers for journaling. So I guess in order for you not to have planner fatigue, you need to understand how you're planning. You need to understand your system, your own system, and how it works for you so that you can just keep improving it. And don't be afraid if something was working and then suddenly it's not. Your planner should be organic. It should be adapting to you and your lifestyle and your feelings and your situation. So if that is no longer your working for you because your situation has changed, then it should change with you. No planner can be the same throughout the year because it should work for you and adapt to you. And I think if you want a planner that's just very easily adaptable to your lifestyle, bullet journal. Plain notebook bullet journal. That is all you need. So that is my advice, and that is the end of this quite long video. I do have a plan with me. Once again, that's going to be on YouTube Shorts or in Instagram Reels, or if I have the time, TikTok. I really haven't figured out TikTok yet. One day I will. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. And I really aim to give you a different perspective in terms of planning, functional planning as well. I'm hoping that you will gain inspiration, or at the very least have me as a companion for your planning sessions. And I hope you have a good one. And I hope you have a wonderful 2024.